The awakening window of August. Welcome to old Buddhist philosophy. What if I told you the second half of 2025 is not just another passage of time, but a rare celestial window designed for inner transformation and outer alignment? According to ancient cosmic teachings and timeless number law, this is not a month to be overlooked. It is a sacred pause where the energies shift and life responds, not from coincidence, but from vibration. August brings with it the magnetic pull of Saturn, slow, deliberate, powerful. Saturn does not rush. It teaches through cycles. It shapes destinies through quiet pressure and invisible gravity. And now, in this moment, its energy grows louder, like a quiet drum echoing beneath everything you see, hear, or feel. If you've sensed an unusual pull, a feeling you can't name, a symbol repeating, numbers dancing before your eyes, know this: the universe has already begun to whisper. You may have seen the signs, the sudden recurrence of numbers that follow you like shadows, the strange patterns that feel too precise to ignore, the moments of pause where your thoughts fall silent and a presence almost speaks. These are not glitches in your routine, they are rhythms, vibrational signals moving through the fabric of your life, calling you to wake up and realign. Saturn, known as the quiet sculptor of fate, never grants gifts without purpose. It waits, it watches, and when it opens its hand, the offerings are real: stability, clarity, renewal, even transformation. But there is one unchanging rule: you must be attuned to receive. You must quiet the noise. You must meet the frequency. And to help you align, we journey through 6 sacred numbers, each one vibrating with depth, chosen through ancient systems of insight that recognize numbers not as math, but as motion. These numbers are not lucky charms. They are codes, keys, invitations to shift. And if you stay with me until the end, a final number will be revealed, not just any number, but a golden cipher, a rare frequency that unlocks a deeper layer of movement in your life. This is the bonus number, an unseen companion to the 6, and one that doesn't reveal itself unless you are truly present. But before we open the gateway, take a moment to ground. Close your eyes, feel your breath, feel the pull of something larger than logic, something that moves beneath the surface of your days. Now, when you're ready, tap like, subscribe to Old Buddhist Philosophy, and type into the comments, "I am ready, I am open, I align with Saturn's flow." Let us begin. Number 10. The spiritual threshold. We begin with the number 10, a number that often arrives disguised as an ending, yet quietly carries the essence of a powerful beginning. In the world around us, it marks the final step, the last rung, the closing line. But in the inner realms, where time folds and patterns breathe, 10 is something far more sacred. It is the moment between the exhale and the inhale, a hush in the soul before transformation begins. It is the place where what was fades and what could be begins to shimmer. 10 represents the unseen summit reached not through applause or celebration, but through patient struggle and quiet perseverance. It honors the seasons of your life that demanded your full presence, with no audience, no reward. The long walks through confusion, the silent rebuilding after things fell apart, the times you chose growth over comfort, healing over blame. 10 doesn't celebrate the spotlight, it sanctifies the shadows you overcame without ever needing to be seen. It is a threshold moment, a rare, still point, where the path behind you converges with the one ahead. This number signals the closing of a karmic chapter, one that may have tested you in ways even you don't fully understand yet. And yet, within that closure, lies a promise. The soil has been tilled, the roots have deepened. Something is ready now, not because it is forced, but because it has matured in time. 10 is not a push, it is a quiet opening. In life's spiral motion, the energy of 10 reminds us nothing is final, and nothing is ever wasted. You are not starting from scratch, you are starting from experience. All the pieces of your past, your losses, your leaps, your lessons, are now harmonizing into something deeper, something quieter, something that will carry you, if you let it. The energy of 10 is neither loud nor urgent. It is wise. It asks you to move, not quickly, but consciously, to begin again, but with new eyes. So if life has felt like it's paused, if your days feel slow, stretched, uncertain, you're not in a delay, you are in a doorway, one that doesn't demand you rush, but invites you to listen. The invitation is subtle, but those who are ready will feel it, a knowing in your bones that something is ended, and something else, something more aligned with who you've become, is about to take shape. So I ask you now, not as a test, but as a reflection, what within you is ready to cross the threshold, and what part of you still clings to the past. Let the number 10 show you the difference. Number 14, transition with purpose. Now we arrive at the whispering edge of number 14, a number that does not knock loudly at your door, nor stir the winds in wild motion. Instead, it appears like a subtle shift in light, soft, steady, and sure. You may not even notice it at first, but when it begins to return in patterns, in symbols, in moments of stillness, you begin to understand something deep within you is preparing for change, not dramatic, not chaotic, but conscious, rooted, purposeful. 14 carries an inner precision. It does not arrive when you're drifting. It comes when the soul is realigning, rebalancing, readjusting its lens. Its essence is the dance between desire and direction, between the untamed urge to grow and the grounded wisdom to grow well. There is movement here, yes, but it is movement with maturity, change not for the thrill of it, but for the truth of it. In its very structure, the number tells its story. 1. The spark, the beginning, the singular voice that rises with a vision. 4. The framework, the solid ground, the builder's patience. When these two join hands, they form a powerful alchemy. The dream that choose become real. 14 is that dream, finally shaping into structure. It asks, what are you building now, and is it worthy of your growth? Yet beneath its surface, the quiet current of the number 5 begins to hum. For 1 pull 4 becomes 5. The vibration of change, but not the reckless kind. This is not about leaping from cliffs without wings. This is about stepping into the unknown because your inner compass is clear. 14 says, change only when you are anchored in awareness. Let each move be measured by meaning, not urgency. Let transformation be rooted in clarity, not reaction. If this number is circling you, on phone screens, receipts, or the spaces between thoughts, it is not coincidence. It is signal, a gentle indicator that you have already outgrown an old way of being, not because it was wrong, but because it has served its purpose. Now something new must be shaped, not invented, but remembered, a path that honors who you have become and where your quiet knowing is pointing you next. So I invite you to pause, gently, deeply, and ask yourself, what chapter have I silently completed? What dream now deserves structure? And most of all, am I willing to evolve from wisdom, not from fear? Number 5, the trigger of transformation. There are moments in life that slip by like soft rain, quiet, subtle, barely noticed. And then there are moments that arrive like thunder, shifting the atmosphere in a single breath. That precisely is the rhythm of number 5, not the gentle nudge, but the bold awakening, the pulse of life, knocking louder. When you begin to feel that itch beneath the surface, when routine becomes a tight shell, and your thoughts begin circling with the same questions night after night, it is not anxiety, it is the soul signaling that it's time to move. You feel it, don't you? That strange restlessness, the craving not just for something different, but for something true. Number 5 doesn't whisper, it enters like wind through a still room, clearing dust, shaking curtains, reminding you that stagnation was never your destiny. It is the number of the crossroads, the inner alarm clock, the burst of sunlight, when you've been sitting too long in shadows. Its message is clear. Change is not coming. It has arrived. In the great spiral of numbers, 5 is the axis of movement. It resists confinement, questions safety, and dismantles patterns that no longer nourish growth. It doesn't bring destruction, it brings redirection. It doesn't remove comfort for the sake of chaos, but to make room for your expansion. And in this month, August 2025, that frequency intensifies under the influence of Mercury, the planet of swift thought, sharp vision, and bold clarity. Like a mirror reflecting your deepest potential, Mercury aligns with 5 to tell you, there's no more time to wait. The path is already unfolding beneath your feet. If the number 5 keeps emerging, on receipts, in conversations, on license plates, in fleeting dreams, it is not a coincidence. Patterns are how the universe beeves to those who are willing to listen beyond logic. And this pattern says, the moment you've delayed is now asking to be lived. It isn't asking for a perfect plan, it's asking for honest movement. You may not know where this next step will lead, but you do know what staying still has cost you. 5 reminds you that life rewards motion, not reckless leaps, but soul-led courage. It tells you that transformation begins not with certainty, but with yes. That every time you feel the discomfort of change, it is the body recognizing its next becoming, the soul expanding beyond its old dimensions. Ask yourself now, where have I outgrown my surroundings, but stayed for the sake of familiarity? What dream have I shelved for the illusion of safety? And most importantly, if I knew the universe would catch me, what would I dare to do? Let this number be your mirror. Let it be the pulse that pushes you to your edge, not to break you, but to awaken the strength you've forgotten you hold. You are not stuck. You are simply standing at the threshold, waiting to remember that you can move, that you must move, because in the rhythm of 5, freedom is not found, it is created, and it begins the moment you choose motion over fear. So, what will you choose? Number 27, the silent awakening. There are numbers that arrive like lightning, loud, undeniable, urgent in their message, and then there are numbers like 27, gentle, repeating, subtle in form, yet weighty in meaning. You aren't chasing it, and yet it follows you. A room number, a timestamp, a digital total. 27 appears like a breath you didn't realize you were holding, inviting you to slow down and notice. Unlike the energetic currents of number 5, 27 does not crash in to shake the foundations. It arrives in whispers, in the soft twilight between thought and knowing. It doesn't push, it invites. And the invitation is clear: return to yourself, return to the quiet. At its core, 2 is the number of intuition, harmony, subtle insight, the ability to listen beyond the noise, to feel the energy beneath the words. While 7 is the number of the inner journey, the seeker, the quiet student of life, who walks paths unseen, who trusts the questions more than the answers. When these forces blend into 27, they carry a sacred message: pause, reflect, realign. This is not a time to act, it is a time to attune. This number arrives not with urgency, but with timing, because something inside you has been asking for a reset. Maybe you've been caught in loops of overthinking. Maybe you've been following timelines that aren't your own. Maybe your soul is quietly reminding you that your power is not found in doing more, but in feeling more, thinking less, sensing deeper, being fully present. In this month of heightened energy, Mercury's electric momentum pulls many into forward motion, but 27 moves counter to the rush. It reminds you that the most important shifts do not happen out there in the world. They happen in here, in the silence between thoughts. It asks, have you been living by pressure or by presence? You might find yourself standing in a decision, unsure which way to go. You might be questioning your pace, your priorities, your purpose. And 27 shows up not to give you the answer, but to create space for you to remember what you already know. Sometimes growth doesn't look like movement. It looks like stillness, like choosing not to react, not to rush, like closing your eyes and letting your awareness drop below the noise of the day, into the calm, where truth speaks, without words. Let 27 be your soft checkpoint, a moment of inner recalibration, a sacred pause to breathe, to witness, to ask yourself with gentleness, am I aligned, or simply busy? Is this direction nourishing me, or draining me? Am I still connected to the version of me that started this path? Because the most powerful awakenings do not erupt with chaos. They bloom in silence, in those still seconds when you stop looking outward and simply listen. And that is the gift of this number, the silent awakening, a call back to your own intuitive compass. So if you keep seeing 27, let it be a mirror, a moment to exhale, to soften, to check in with the self beneath the schedules and the stories. Because when you are aligned inwardly, everything external begins to realign in return. And now ask yourself gently, where in my life have I forgotten to listen? Number 11, the mirror of intuition, 2 ones. Standing tall, still and steady, not shouting but resonating in silence. Number 11 is the portal of perception, the gateway between the physical and the unseen. It is not just a number. It is a mirror, a frequency, a quiet invitation into the realm of knowing without proof. Those attuned to 11 often find themselves sensing things before they unfold, noticing small shifts in energy, feeling the weight of truth in a room even before words are spoken. And perhaps lately, you've felt this too, a tug in the heart, a soft unease before decisions, a whisper in the dark, guiding you when logic fails. If so, you are not lost. You are aligning. In numerology, 11 is a master number, a signal that your intuition is no longer dormant. It's active, alive. It wants your attention. When you see 1111 on a clock or receipt, or find yourself repeatedly drawn to the number, it is more than coincidence. It is synchronicity, a nudge from the universe that says, you already know. Trust. Astrologically, Uranus, planet of inner awakening, is now lighting up this path across the Earth's field. It stirs sudden realizations, heightened dreams, psychic flashes. You may find yourself dreaming of people before they call, or feeling emotional without reason. These are not malfunctions of the mind. They are the soul's language returning to you. And like twin flames facing each other, the 2 ones in 11 reflect a sacred truth. You are both the question and the answer. You are both the seeker and the source. 11 doesn't pull you forward, it calls you inward. It is not about action. It is about clarity before movement. It is the pause in the storm, the breath before the decision, the stillness that reveals the truth already waiting within you. So if you've been doubting yourself, if the world has told you to prove it before you believe it, let 11 be your anchor. You are not meant to explain what your soul understands. You are only meant to listen. Let me ask you now gently, truthfully, what have you felt in your gut but silenced in your mind? And are you finally ready to believe yourself? Number 33, the call to serve. There is a silence that speaks louder than words, a presence that heals without touch. And when the number 33 appears on clocks, receipts, or in quiet repetition across your days, it is not by chance. It is the gentle nudge of the master healer, the cosmic teacher, the sacred servant. 33 is the culmination of compassion and courage. It carries the wisdom of 2 threes, each symbolizing creation, communication, and joy. Yet doubled, it becomes more than itself. It becomes a vow, a calling, a divine invitation to live not just for self, but for service. In numerology, 33 is rare and powerful, known as the master teacher, one who does not lead from the stage, but from the heart. Where others rush forward seeking glory, 33 pauses, breathes, listens. It teaches not by instruction, but by embodiment. You may find yourself drawn to healing work, or simply being the one others turn to when they're lost. You may feel tired, but cannot explain why, because your soul has been working in unseen realms, supporting others without recognition, and still you continue, because your strength does not depend on praise, it flows from a deeper place, and beneath this number lies the vibration of 6, the number of heart-centered balance. But when multiplied, the 6 becomes sacred. It is no longer just love, it is selfless, steady, unconditional devotion. And in that devotion, miracles begin. For 33 does not ask for applause, it asks for alignment. It asks, can you show up with your whole soul, even when no one sees you? Astrologically, we are moving through a collective rise in service-based consciousness. Light workers are being awakened. Spiritual teachers are returning, not as gurus, but as friends, as listeners, as quiet beacons of stability in an uncertain world. If you felt this pull, this desire to offer, to heal, to hold space, you are answering 33's call. You are not alone in this sacred work. Around you walk guides, ancestors, teachers from realms unseen. They whisper encouragement into your dreams. They wrap you in warmth when you feel weary. The cosmos knows who you are, and it supports every step you take in service. So if 33 has been circling your life, again and again, this is your soul's confirmation. You are ready to serve. You are here to lead, not with power but with presence. Let this moment be your vow, to walk softly but firmly, to speak truth but with tenderness, to create, not from ego, but from love. And if this message resonates deep within, right below, I align with the quiet strength of 33, because when you serve with love, you align with the divine. If something stirred as you listened, an inner pulse, a soft recognition, no, this wasn't Tinnans, it was alignment. The numbers that called to you today were not predictions, but portals, each one, a mirror reflecting your next evolution, a map made of vibrations, designed to awaken what already lives within you. These numbers, 3, 8, 11, 22, 33, are not separate events, they are threads of a single tapestry, each echoing a higher rhythm. Together, they form a sacred sequence, a pulse in the heart of time reminding you who you are, why you came, and what your energy is ready to do in this world. You may not feel ready, that's part of the path. Real growth never comes wrapped in certainty, it arrives wrapped in mystery. And still, you are called to trust, to notice, to align with what you already feel, but haven't fully followed, because the universe is always communicating, but it speaks in signs, not sentences. Maybe you've seen repeating numbers, felt waves of emotion at strange hours, dreamed of people you've never met. These are not oddities, they are openings. They are the language of a deeper dimension, inviting you not to hitch, but to remember that you are energy, that you are here for more than survival, that the quiet whisper inside you is not imagination, it is direction. So let today be more than content. Let it be ceremony. Take one breath right now and silently affirm, I am open, I am aligned, I am ready, not because life is certain, but because your soul is listening. And in this moment, that is more than enough. If something spoke to you in this journey, share it below, say your number, speak your knowing. Let this space become a field of alignment, and until we meet again in the numbers, stay sought, stay awake, stay true. The path is already unfolding beneath your feet.